In this week's video, The World is Your Mirror, I will be talking about a couple of key things in terms of manifestation. Do you get frustrated with your manifestation? Do you get frustrated with the results that you're achieving? So you may be manifesting results that you do not like. They are the opposite of your desires. You may think that you have a particular want or desire, but yet the opposite is happening. And that's what we'll be exploring in this week's video, where I want to help you understand what it means when the very popular teaching of as above, so below, as within, so without, how that ties in with consciousness, how that ties in with a key principle, no one to change but self. Now that is a deeper teaching we'll be going into. But first, in order to understand what it means in terms of why you are getting your manifestations or you're getting the opposite of your desires, and how to use the principle of as above, so below, as within, so without. Be sure to comment about what it is that you've actually understood about this popular teaching and it appears in religion. And why, though, from a consciousness perspective, this has been something that's hidden in plain sight. So I want to take you through these teachings so that you can better understand this. And in order to do that, I have a few visuals I would like you to follow along with. So in this very popular saying, as above, so below, as within, so without, it is a principle of correspondence. And correspondence means to match. And so what we look at is this concept in terms of manifestation, the act of bringing your desires into your physical reality. Now, when you understand and align the principle of as above, so below, and as within, so without, you can understand this principle from a bigger perspective of learning to manifest your dreams with greater ease and effectiveness. Because there is a correlation between your inner worlds and your outer worlds. So in what is in the microcosm that is within man is the same as what is in the macrocosm. Many people miss the fact that what is happening in their inner reality is actually being mirrored. They project into their outer world. What is in your physical reality is simply the mirror showing you an image of what is within. So as within, the power of your thoughts, your feelings, your beliefs, and then your assumptions, because it may start out as a thought, but that thought builds into a feeling. Over time, we have the repeated thoughts and feelings become a belief, and then the belief becomes something that is assumed to be true. Doesn't matter if the assumption may be false, but that assumption goes on to becoming a reality. Is what you want and what is happening in your outer world are not matching up. You must go back to what you've assumed to be real. And this is where it can be a little bit of a daunting task, because you're not aware that the thoughts and the feelings and the beliefs that you have are actually creating the chaos in your world or whatever you're frustrated with. So you may want something, but it is actually the opposite that's happening in your reality. And this is because what we focus on and what we assume to be true is what we're going to attract into our life. Remember, it is what we are conscious of being and not what we desire. So I will speak a bit more about these two. Your desires and versus what has become impregnated into the subconscious mind. What's held in the imagination is what becomes your outer reality, not what you want. In the conflict between what you desire and what you imagine, because our imaginings can be filled with doubt and fear and frustration and challenges, and we believe that to be true rather than what we want. So this is something that Joseph Murphy explained. As within, so without. And it means that whatever is impressed into the subconscious is what will appear in your life. And that is what is within, that is taken as a strong feeling. It is fused with your feelings, are fused into your imaginal scene, are what is going to turn up in your outer reality. The outside mirrors the inside. Therefore, your external reality, what's happening in your physical world, is following your internal world. It's following the internal action. I've spoken about this in the previous videos where we talk about the dimensionally larger world. And whatever we take into our dream state, whatever we impress the subconscious with, we will see that manifested in our outer reality. So take, for example, someone might be wanting to get a new job. However, night after night, they go to bed and they're despondent and they have this feeling of failure because their current job is not feeling good for them. Now, that happened with me in the corporate world. I had high stress levels. I was constantly chasing after deadlines, and my previous corporate jobs, I knew a year in advance what my diary looked like because there were recurring meetings, and often I'd have back-to-back meetings in my day, and then I'd spend the time in the evenings and on weekends and holidays catching up and trying and just wanting to keep afloat. And actually, I wasn't trying. I was trying very hard and succeeding at trying to keep afloat. I wasn't getting ahead, and so I used to take those states of hard work and not feeling I was doing enough and not getting enough done during the day into my subconscious, into my sleep state. And this is where I've learned now that whatever I take with me at the end of the day is what I create more of. So as within, if I take frustration and feelings of not good enough and failure into my subconscious state, that's what I'm going to be creating more of in the next day. And when I learned about the law of attraction, and I learned about, and more importantly, the law of assumption and how this works, it opened my eyes. And I have actually gone back and cleared those years and years of frustration of not feeling like I was doing enough, and I do not go to sleep with that feeling of frustration or feelings of failure or feelings of I have so much to do and I am not succeeding. So it is quite important. Understand what is sitting on the inside. What is within is going to show up without. It's going to show up in that way in your physical reality. So you are to now understand what is it that is sitting in your thoughts, in your feelings, in your beliefs that you have assumed to be real. Because as within, what is within creates and shapes your outer reality. And therefore, desire, that strong feeling, that burning desire, plus your imagination, is what will mold your future. And you are to rather mold this in harmony. I want to remind you, good and evil spring forth from us. There is no distinction. We are, what we become is what we've been thinking of. We are our creations, because those creations cannot happen without us being the creator of them. What is within is what we are creating. So we are to become aware of what our power is. Many do not realize that they are holding on to these negative beliefs and limiting beliefs. They want something, but what's sitting underneath, what's sitting within in the subconscious, what has been programmed, is the limitation, the frustration, the conflict, the doubt. Now, if you are to become a powerful manifester, there is no doubt that you are a manifester. However, you're not being effective at it if you're not aware of what is sitting in your inner reality. That inner reality of, am I focused on problem or solution? Now, problem is going to see it as, this is hard work, this is challenging, cannot do this, how will I do this? Solution says, I am the person that I want to be. I am the person who has achieved this. And that's where you've got to start becoming aware of, what am I carrying within? What it is that you could apply out of this week's lesson. Is there something that has changed your awareness, your insights? Did you get more insights out of what we spoke about or what I touched on today? And then also, because we can imagine for each other, and we can do that even more so without having to know any of the story. What is the one desire that you have that you wish to see fulfilled? I invite you to put them down in the comments, and whoever reads this can imagine for you. In my next video, we will be looking at as above, so below, within the context of the law of assumption, and how it can impact and influence in terms of manifestation. My name is fazila.bizior, and thank you for being part of this channel. Be sure to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you know when my next video comes out. And remember to always imagine the very best for you.